It's good, boys. Good, Valentino. It's good, Paulo. Harass, what's up, brother? Whoa, what's up? Son, what's up, brother? Connor, what's good, brother? I gotta learn and wanted to ask where I can get your course. You probably don't want my teachings. YouTube. Everything I have on is on YouTube, brother. If you want to learn to trade like me, then YouTube. I'm probably also working on, I say my final book, but I keep adding stuff to my trading as I review and improve. So it's probably not going to be my final book, but definitely my final book for a while. I'm planning on releasing that soon once it's done and really well done. ES has taken out this high. Pre-market sell side is down here. We haven't taken that out yet. What mentorship? Not mentorship notes. My notes. I've already finished all of ICT's notes. This is Nasdaq. What's the bias? I'm gonna be leaning towards longs going into open. How long have you studied and backtested before hopping on funded? I was demo trading for it wasn't even 1 month, it was like 3 weeks. I was demo trading for 3 weeks, but I had like already 1,000 backtests put in. Maybe 500. Have times reset again? I thought we was back 1 hour. All you have to do is set your time to New York local. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do, my brother. You give signals? I mean, I'm going to trade live. It's not an official signal. But people do copy me. Up to you what you want to do. What do you think will happen at open? I'm hoping we move lower. I can't predict what's going to happen at open. That would be too overpowered. I hope we move lower though. That's what I'm going to wait for. Daily streams? Yep. I've been streaming every day for almost a year and a half now. Why did market open change? Because the New York Time went back 1 hour. Or yeah, went back an hour. Why is your uptime back to 3:30? Was it only one? Yep, it was only for 1 week because New York changes its time 1 week after Europe. So we were just giving them time to digest. The time's went back to normal. Yep, everything's supposedly back to normal. Yes. New York time is now up to date. Give me a moment here while I sign into my accounts. We are in a decoupled market. The day spike go higher, and then it's also very. Yep, possible. I mean, it's always possible. Keep that right there. What's your risk to reward and win ratio lately? How much is lately? We finished October pretty well. The last 2 weeks of October, it's been not too bad. It's been not too bad. Right now, we're on a little bit of a win streak, I believe, right? I don't know. You can check in the Discord. All my journals are in there. Every trade I take on live stream is there. Like on Friday, we took 2 wins, one break even. On the day before, we took 2 losses. The day before, we were up on the live account. You're doing 1 to 2 sometimes. Are you looking for a sweep of the lows into reversal today? That would be nice. Although I fear 9:30 is just gonna pump. November, yes sir. How much did today? I don't know what that means. Markets open at the same time. Market opens at 9:30 New York time. Your job is just to know what time is New York time. That's it. That's all you have to do. All you got to do, my brother. Third. I did. Okay. So I got the pre-market plan here. Um, we also have 10 a.m. PMI. So that means 10 a.m. protocol. 10 a.m. PMI today. So we're going to be following 10 a.m. protocol. When is CPI? 10 a.m. PMI, the 30-minute candle. I don't know what that means. It's just one candle. Just one singular candle at 10 a.m. I think NQ pre-market SSL is safe. Remember, you're going to remember me at the end of stream? Yeah, it can be safe as possible. Good Raz trades. Good morning, brother. Is this gold? No, this is NASDAQ. You bearish? No. If today, I'm not really interested in any shorts. I mean, you might be able to find something nice like this to target that, but I'd rather not do that. That low can be protected. Doesn't have to get taken. We also have higher up fair value gaps in here. If we don't have to, I'm not saying I'm expecting this low to get taken. I'm just annotating it because it's below 830 opening price. Bookmap. My thoughts. I don't know. I've never tried it. I probably shouldn't even leave my. I don't have. I can't possibly have a good opinion. But my first top tip. Let me open up my accounts. I always do this, and I do it last second. We're gonna open up the trade copier. I have all the accounts open today. We'll see what we end up trading. Shoot, I have to renew my plan. Good thing I'm doing this a little bit early then. One sec, guys. I gotta renew my subscription to my trade copier. Didn't realize it was canceled. Guys, okay, trade copier should be good. All right, all right. Copy trade. That looks good to me. Leader account is 3044. That's this one. Minimize that. Keep this open. Should be all good on the micro. Cool. The price not tap a supply order block. Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's a made up concept. Why AWS? Why? Oh, this big candle here on the 1 minute? I don't know. Anyways, we'll give a couple minutes, then we'll go to the 1 minute chart. These are just the levels I have. I want to target higher today. That's what I want to do. Yeah. I don't really want to take a short. So if we don't get longs in the morning, come back in lunch or afternoon. But I want to focus on longs today. Have you already entered a trade Friday, or are you looking? I'm not swing trading, and I did trade Friday. On Friday, we took 2 wins, but I'm not in any trades right now. Does the new timing affect the 12 o'clock and 8:30 opening? No. Whatever it is in New York time. So when I'm marking out 8:30, this is the 8:30 candle in New York time. This 8:30 is the exact same 8:30 in New York time. I probably should have. Something I didn't do was I didn't give you guys a focus for. Pivoting into manage risk, reducing stops to manage risk, patience and waiting for the better setup. There was one more thing I wanted to focus on. I think that's it, to be honest. So we have 10 a.m. news today. PMI, manufacturing index, I believe. So we definitely want to make sure we're aware and patient with that. Yeah, manufacturing PMI. So if you trade alpha futures, 2 minutes before and after. Um, we're gonna remove these. So hopefully you guys understand the pre-market plan. We're gonna hop over to a 1 minute chart. That's where I like to read price. Now, keep the sell side marked there. So we'll see how this goes. Currently, we are just delivering higher. We do have an SMT here, so potentially, hopefully, I should say, not potentially, hopefully, the market just dumps lower. Now we're gonna mark out our opening range gap. I believe I want to do it like this. Go it like this. Something really faint. A little too faint. That works. And then we'll annotate that as soon as it comes up. So 10 seconds, we'll get our opening range gap quadrants. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be somewhere here. Whoa, it's a lot higher than expected. All right, there's your opening range gap quadrants. 1. Oh, let me just mark this out. So we have to follow 10 a.m. protocol, which is basically if we're gonna take a trade before 10 a.m. news, it's gotta be like a really, really good trade. It's gotta be like an A plus trade. I don't think we're gonna get. So we'll see. Currently, we're trading higher. We'll see if we end up taking out some of those targets. Hopefully not. I think I'm gonna make this. Oh, it's kind of messy in there. No, you can see it pretty nicely. We trade higher. We're taking out the buy stops right here. It's your pre-market high. So we'll see if that can send us lower. Again, I'm not really interested in trading lower. I'm gonna let that do its thing, especially because there's 10 a.m. news. I don't want to be looking for shorts. A little bit of a decoupling. ES printed two down close candles, and Q printed two up close candles. YM is going really low, and dollar is going higher. So everything's a little bit out of sync right now. Usually when that happens, you just want to be a little bit patient, let it do its thing. Um, and I think, to be honest, I think we can just mark out the quadrants like that. It's fine. So we're letting it do its thing. See if it wants to go lower, right? We do have a fair value gap in here, or a suspension block, I should say. Um, See if that delivers the buy side, or if we fail, we get below it and start taking out some lows. Either way, we wait. Nothing interesting right now. Definitely want to be patient. Nope, have not taken a trade yet. Why don't you trade before 9:30? I'm just a lot better at trading after 9:30. How you use ETH or RTH? Both. Bears today? No bears. I think I'm going to be waiting for long. You might get shorts. Yeah, we might get shorts, but I'm not going to be trading shorts personally. Unless we get something really, really good. Like, I'm talking soup to high, SMT. I don't even think it's possible because ES is already bearish. But if everything starts going lower and we get like an A plus breaker, no, I don't even think I would. We'll see. This could be a nice breaker to the sell side, but we'll see. For now, we'll just stay neutral. Seems like Nasdaq wants to take out these highs so it can be in sync with S&P. Good, Roddy. Yeah, man. Let's have a great trading month. How about a great trading week? Please don't take Friday's high yet. It's okay if it does. Closing below that buy stop level. One attempt, two attempts, failed to get above. We'll see if that can deliver us lower. YM's already taking out like lows. So let me fix this. I shouldn't have. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, we're starting to see that move lower. It could get real heavy in here really quickly too. Like it could really start going lower. It could very well do something like this. Very possible. Very possible. Not something I'm really interested in, but definitely very possible. How much stop is that? 30, 60? Definitely very possible. Where's pre-market low at? 132? Stay where you wanna looking for somebody with some superhero gifts, some superhero. I'm just a singer at heart. See how low this goes. If you get a breaker in here, breaker. And I think this can just potentially plummet, but trades into the breaker there. Small inversion fair value gap right here. We talked about this. Did we talk about this? No, we didn't. I think so, actually. I think we're trading into a 15-minute bullish fair value gap right now. I still want to kind of see these levels get taken here. That would be ideal. 2654. There's a unicorn setup in here. If you trade that, this fair value gap. Although really this should be a breakaway. Like it should just all the way down. Very typical for like what's it called? PMI 10 a.m. news. Org 25 is right here. 26173. At that org 25 level. If you notice, everything on the left side of the chart potentially being used now on the right side. This is your original consolidation. So this is like a nice sell model. ES trades to 830 opening price. Could stay quite heavy. I'd expect ES to at least take the sell side. Still watching this deliver. Org 25 is right there at 172. I'd expect that to get hit no problem. How much we go below is hard to say because we might have an SMT there. So you're trading inside that inversion fair value gap. ES is about to take that sell side. ES do its thing. Yeah. Even something like that, it's a 2R right there. Nice. So ES takes out sell side, meaning we have an SMT right here. Pretty nice delivery. Superhero. All right, so we're watching this deliver lower. We do have 10 a.m. news. Um, let's mark out 10 a.m. news. How do we mark out 10 a.m. news? I think we just wait. Or we could do vertical line, I guess. Now the chart's getting kind of messy, though, if I'm being honest. Real faint. And I'm talking real faint. And PMI. Put that at the top. Put it in red. Put it at 11. Put it in, oops. Put it in the center. That's not bad. Can people even see that, though? Can't even tell. It's like here. So, tapering the sell side. See how low ES can go? ES looks like it might go all the way to London, which is very possible. Just a lot heavier than NASDAQ. So ES, London low is in play. Can you guys see ES? Something like this. We'll see if we can potentially frame a reversal now. Well, that's what I'm waiting for. If we can get something like this, really strong, clean displacement, that would be nice for me. I would like that. We are inside that discount 15-minute of this range, assuming we don't take the pre-market sell side. So we don't have to take pre-market sell side, although I think I would prefer we do, because then it would line up with 10 a.m. better. Yeah. I'm going to remove this 10 a.m. marker. The chart's getting messy. In fact, we can remove this. We can remove that. We can remove all that stuff. We don't need any of that. But what's wrong with this? What's up with this candle right here? I gotta find a better place to put my camera because hard to see the S&P chart. Ah, that's good. So we're at OR25 now. We're consolidating. Personally, I want to see it even lower. I think we can go even lower. I want something just like this. So we're just waiting. Probably gonna be waiting for 10 a.m. now, guys. The next smart thing to do is just wait for 10 a.m. Let the news drop, see what it does. We also have to wait for the alpha rule, right? So Should have taken the short. I took the short on my live account. It was very clean, very clean. Just classic model. ES rolling over. Very textbook stuff. Um, this may offer a continuation short. This 5 minute, I'll just mark it out like this. We could very well get something like this, something like that. Very possible. We'll watch that. And now something just like this. How do you change the time frame on both of the charts? Good question. Go to the top right here. Can you see this? Go to the top where it says sync in layout, enable interval. That way your left and right charts always are on the same time. Took the trade on my live account, yes. Still flat on the fundeds. I am still bullish. What color is your M4? I don't have an M4. So we're waiting for 10 a.m. news here. I'll have chat open until then. I feel like there's probably a lot of questions. Guys, when I'm actually trading, I don't read chat. I'm focused. But now we have to wait till 10 a.m. Hey, you know what? You took that sell? I took it on my live account. Bro, was flat on the front with this PA. Oh, I was locked up at 800 off before open. Nice, bro. Congratulations. You don't have to spam the chat. Is your vision still blurry? No, vision's all good, man. Vision's all good now. Where do you get your news? I use Financial Juice and Forex Factory. I just come I started like 5 days ago. Nice. So is your vision still blurry? Congrats, man. Trying to long this. What entry though? I'm gonna be waiting till 10 a.m. and then we'll look for an entry personally. Why not sell on evals? I don't have any evals right now. If I did, that would have been a great eval short because it's one of those trades that were like either just go right away or just fail right away. So it's easy to make a lot of money in a short period of time. It's been pretty good so far. Only a little blurriness. Nice, bro. That's good. Yep, only caught that on my live account. Yeah, I just didn't have any evals. Only live non-unfunded. Yes. Are there news rules on top step funded? No. Past second eval. Nice, bro. Congratulations. I'll wait for news. You right? You don't have to wait for news. I'm just gonna wait for news because we saw an expansion. Now I want to see, do we take sell sides? Like this is the patience, right? This is the patience, which is like waiting for the best set. Are you looking for long at 10? Yeah, hopefully if it gives me something, I would be open to it. Um, you know who I know took this trade? I know for a fact Charmaine took this trade. Oh, I don't think he's trading actually. I like Charmaine. He's a good guy. If you guys know who that is. Reminds me of his model. What pair are you trading? After the first pair on Apex, drawdown stay at 51.1k. Once you get your first pair on Apex, drawdown is always going to be 50k. Just 50. Or that short you took, how did you know that FG at 19 and 19 was it going to hold? This? Well, because the narrative is going to take sell side. If I told you, Michael, we're going to take this red line, well, then you don't care about these fair value gaps because you know it's all about bias and narrative at the time, right? Don't view this as a bullish fair. This is not a support level. This is not a bullish fair value gap. Which, by the way, even if you didn't trust it, well, you could have just shorted it here, right? Um, but don't view these as bullish fair value gaps, right? It's all about narrative. This is not a bullish fair value gap. In fact, this is an inversion fair value gap. We inversed it. We trade right back into it there. Continue lower. Don't view it as bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. It's all about narrative. If you're bearish, expect it to fail. If you're bullish, well, you could potentially expect it to hold. Although this is a pretty weak fair value gap because there's no sell side taken before this fair value gap. Like it's weak, you know. As opposed to like now that we take sell side, if we form a bullish fair value gap, that's a lot stronger than this one because well, we took out sell stops. So it would make sense that we'd form a buy side imbalance. News candle doesn't have to be big, but it would be nice. This is my classic model, guys. Everyone's asking me why am I getting a short. This is a classic model short. I said it even right before market open. I wouldn't short, but if we just go up off 930 and then all of them sink. Instead of Nasdaq, ES, and YM all sink, you could short to the sell side here. I didn't hold to the sell side, but this we got an SMT. What's your tweaking? I don't know. It's just you, I think. Out of what we had a clear target on higher time frame for longs. Yes, but it's all about narrative. I still think this is a target higher time frame. This is a counter trend trade idea. I was anticipating this is the same trade we took on Friday, pretty much. You know. I really hope we don't get a CISD now. So you see, we take out that sell side. We take 15-minute bullish for value gap below sell side. ES is almost at London lows, so I don't trust anything here. I risk 0.5% on that trade. Usually I risk 1%. I don't even remember where my fill was. I got filled here, so I would have had to risk extra. So watch this bearish fair value gap. This is like the most textbook classic model. For those of you who like actually trade my models, this is the most classic um like the most textbook classic model ever. This is just like generally 9:30 AMD is what that is. Anyways, I'm gonna Still here, looking for a potential long. Let's see if we get a reversal. We're waiting for 10 a.m. That's the only reason I'm reading chat right now. If you guys didn't know, I usually do not read chat while I'm trading. It's too distracting. Can't execute the way I really want to. I already finished the orange juice, bro. I've been, listen, my schedule's been a lot better. I've been waking up early, doing the pre-market plan, having breakfast all before stream. We're locked in, guys. We're locked in. We're locked in. I didn't take the trade. I did take this trade, but first one. Anyways, 3 minutes until news. What I want to see is how big is opening range gap. 250? Yeah, I really don't want to see it explore down here. But I think ES already has. So ES takes sell side there on London lows. You should put this vid to learning playlist? What do you mean? All this is posted on YouTube, brother. I'm live on YouTube as well. In fact, I encourage you to go to YouTube chat because that's the one I'm always going to read. You have a code for Alpha Futures? Yes. My code is Gatie. It's my favorite prop firm, by the way. I actually love Alpha Futures, man. They make it really easy. They make trading really easy. Top step's good too. Alpha Futures, the payouts are just easier. That's why I use them. 3 minutes until news. It was finally the cash. Yeah, I feel you, bro. But you listen. I realized something. I feel like I'm like acting like a psychologist now, but like I've really been doing a lot of reflecting and improving because there were times in October. There were times in October where I was doing really well, but there were also times in October I wasn't doing the best. And you realize like it really doesn't matter what happens in the trade. What matters is after you win or lose, can you maintain the composure mentally and physically to then trade again the next time properly, you know? Like if you come fresh on a Monday, for example, you take your first trade, usually no one tilts their first trade. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you first hop in on Monday on a brand new week, you got a fresh account, you know, everyone's excited. Usually their first trade is good. But then if they lose, they start thinking stuff that's when stuff starts going south, you know. But their first trade is actually a really good trade. Usually, most people when they get a brand new account and they come on Monday or like new month, new week, they come in, they're all locked in. They're all like, yeah, like let's trade good. Um, you know, market opened 30 minutes ago. The Alpha Futures ask for interviews on some payouts. I haven't been asked, but if you're suspicious, they could ask. Any firm can ask. I was down 200 on Friday, made it back on the dump from market open now, and I'm just waiting. It's true. Listen, most people, when a new week starts, they get that mental reset. They always, like, their first trade is a good trade. The issue isn't the first trade. Their issue is after the outcome of the first trade. Traders start to fall apart. If they lose, they start trading a little bit worse the rest of the week. If they win, well, they potentially get greedy and then start doing dumb stuff. So, like I said, it really doesn't matter what the outcome of the trade is. It really just matters how you go on after. Anyways, we have news here in 10 seconds, so let's minimize chat, focus up here again. You're going to see a 10 a.m. news candle here. Nothing crazy. But there's your volatility spike. Yep, Apex pays out. So ES has taken out the London lows. NQ consolidating here. I personally want to see a reversal. Whether it gets deferred to 10:30, that's possible. I'd want to see it form somewhat soon. We We do take out the sell stop. See if we get org 50 right there. Or even failure to reach org 50 could be a good sign. We do take out those sell stops inside the 15-minute fair value gap. So now we just wait and see. This is where patience is important. You don't want to jump the gun on a reversal. ES is trading below London lows. That's pretty low. I made 1% on that trade. What is this? What did I mark this out for? And this could keep selling off. It's possible that we just engineer the highs there on the daily chart for another day. It's possible. I wouldn't want to see that, but it's definitely possible. I wouldn't want to see this 15-minute fair value gap get invalidated. If it does, that kind of kills my session. I'm going to be honest, because I'm not going to be shorting low of day to target. I'm not going to be shorting down here to target that. We do have that new week opening gap here, by the way. Someone, do I have a marker for that? I think it should be something like this. I should have a higher time frame imbalance. Yeah, let's rock with that. We'll just extend that for the week. NWOG. Current NWOG. We'll just extend that for the week. I believe this is the correct annotation, but you should go into the 1 minute. You know what? Let me do it, bro, because. So opening price on the new week is right there. Closing price on the week before. Yeah, it was correct. So, right. So we're working inside that 15-minute fair value gap. We're working below pre-market lows. If we get a strong CISD here, say it also has this inversion, well, obviously that would happen, plus a bullish fair value gap, that may be something I'm interested in getting long into. We'd probably want to start with low risk and then look to pyramid into the position. So right now we're studying this price level right here. Do we get a change in the state of delivery right there below that sell side? ES, London lows. Let's check out YM here. See, YM also maybe potentially forming a bottom off of London lows, or this is previous days low actually. So that's all the way down there. So now we want to see, like, how do we form the CISD? Do we get a bullish fair value gap? Right? I know we're gonna have an inversion here, which is nice. And if we get a weak CISD, like I said, something I said I want to work on this week is waiting for the better setup, you know? I want to wait for the better setup. That's what patience is. Waiting for seeing your model and saying, I want to wait for a better, stronger one. So if we get the CISD here, that is technically my model. You see the bodies respecting org 50 there. I mean, I like this. I like the signatures in here. But the reason, even if we get the CISD now, that's a red flag because that's 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 minutes to get 1 minute CISD, and we're not putting in a bullish fair value gap. We do get an inversion, so let's study. Do we get sensitivity here? Because if we close back below, then I'm not trusting that. I see, like, I'm not trusting that CISD. There's no way. It's still weak. Being bullish bias was wrong? Not necessarily. I mean, it's still early. That's 1. 2. It could just be a timing thing. Like I said, something I said earlier today in pre-market was, I'm still bullish whether this wants to take London lows or not. It just may not happen in the morning session. It may come back in the afternoon, maybe even tomorrow. It's fine. I don't really care about the inversion anyway. I have to see the closure above CISD. So again, so even if we listen, like if the next, let me give you guys a lesson on my model for those of you who trade. If we get a CISD now, you should not, like, that's a low quality change in the state of delivery. Because like, what is this? The whole point is displacement, speed, bullish fair value gaps, clean delivery. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that, like, that's not clean. So that's something I want to work on for the rest of the month. Because last month, I was taking trades that met all my criteria, but I wasn't waiting for the better trade, I wasn't waiting for the better trade. And that's what I want to do. I want to wait for the better trade. So we're working in the bottom of the 15-minute fair value gap. Pretty deep discount, if you ask me. Is there a 4-hour fair value gap? Yeah, we're working inside a 4-hour fair value gap too. Pretty low into it. So if we're going to form a bottom, I'd want to see it kind of form now. If we get a strong displacement here with the bullish fair value gap, that's a breaker with a change in the state and a reclaimed fair value gap, respecting the lower portion. Not for, I would trust that. Like if we get a strong displacement here, I would trust that. It's got to be speedy. And again, we would probably just go 1 micro. So risk $60. And then if we get positive feedback, add another one. Well, I guess, okay, $60 is quite little. We'll probably do 2 micros and then try to add more. Right? Because that's, yeah. Start with 2. Anyways, right now we're still just bearish. Still just moving lower. We're just waiting. No need to force anything. Stay patient. The CSD changes, yes. I did take the first trade. The news at 10 a.m. happened at 9? No, it's 10. Yeah, okay, you're good. Did not take previous day's high. We left equal highs up there. Could be left for another day. Okay, we're seeing some speed on this candle. I like the speed I'm seeing on that candle. However, it's just trading into an order block right now, so we don't know. It's got to break above, right? I'd probably demand a full breaker in here. Let's call it the CISD. So we're working inside that 15-minute fair value gap. We're pretty much all the way at the bottom of the 4-hour ES, all the way down into new week opening gap. We'll see if Nasdaq can lead in strength. That's a strong displacement. No CISD confirmation yet, but we may buy it above this high. We may start with 1 micro. Did we reclaim that fair value gap? We did. All right. We're going to start with 1 micro. So very low risk with 1 micro, and we'll see if we can add into this position. The goal is to add into the position. So starting with low risk, we're going to see if we can add another contract if we get more positive feedback. ES gave the change in the state of delivery there. Also. So now we're waiting. I like starting with less risk on these kind of trades because it's like, if this trade is right, there's so much room. So we have a bullish fair value gap in here. Now this is getting kind of messy. I'm going to remove the 15-minute fair value gap marker. I'm going to keep that annotated right there. And we'll just leave it like that. So we'll see if this stays open. If so, that's pretty bullish. In terms of adding into a position, I'd probably have to wait for a protraction model if I'm going to add anything. We'll move the stop to 09150. Now that we put in that fair value gap. And I'm going to be honest, like even if we end up just having 1 micro, let's say, the whole run, Still a potential 160 points. I mean, it's not the worst. But stops at 0.9150. So right now, our main goal is to, well, the main goal is to be patient. Wait and see if we form a protraction model. A protraction model would look something like returning to this fair value gap and breaking above the high. You know, something like here, for example. That's something that would be like a potential add for me. That's what we're waiting to see. I'm going to check the YM. YM a little bit displacement higher as well. Nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of a red flag displacement right now, right? Because we're not getting the follow through. But we have the bullish fair value gap in here, so we'll see if this offers a potential run higher. I want to see, you know, even something like if we just trade down and then start moving up, I can add one there, just on the same entry level. Even adding one would still be under risk, right? Because we're only risking like, well, my actual fill was 216, 21575, so we're risking 70 bucks. So even if I added one more, risk is pretty low. So we'll see how much damage we can do with one micro for now. I said, bro, you just lost 70 bucks. That's okay, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna win every trade. As long as I make more when I'm right, and lose less when I'm wrong. There's an SMT on live not funded. I'm in on the fundeds. There's an SMT at London low right now. So I don't want to move my screen too much. There's currently an SMT at London lows. So we're seeing some decent speed in here. I'm going to move the stop to the bottom of this fair value gap. Plus one tick. Meaning I don't want to see that get fully filled in. You could even argue an aggressive break even here off of this fair value gap. You really could. I may even consider it. May hover a potential close. Just play it super safe. Now what I want to see is what high is that? 5 minute. So bullish fair value gap in there. That could be an IO Fed entry. I don't have that marked out. Regardless of what happens, two really good trades today. I liked how patient I was with this long. And I really like that short too. So already very content with my executions. We may close this and break even, I'm gonna be honest. I'll watch this closely. I'm gonna close this break even, guys. I don't like that inversion. So I'm taking the break even there. We'll see if we get a protraction model long. That may just be another entry. So say we inverse this fair value gap. I'll just take that entry instead. So if we get an inversion here, I'll re-enter. If we respect this, so if we respect this and get the inversion, I'll just take that instead. And I would just take that with 2 micros probably, because the risk is even better. So closing break even off that order block inversion. I don't like that. Nothing bullish about this right now. So pretty good terminus in my opinion. Let me see the execution I got. Yeah, we got break even on there. Minus 25 cents. Let me make sure my trade copier is working. Yeah, it is working. Okay, we're good. So if we get an inversion here, which I don't think we are, but if we do, I'd re-enter the position. I would try again. This is just me managing my risk on signatures that are not that high probability, right? We want to identify losers and winners as early as possible. I posted the trade. Did I not post the trade? I'll post all my trades later, Ash. Don't worry. I want to show all the executions and everything. We're going to make a lower low in here. Are you okay after that 25-cent loss? No, please pay me back, bro. Good break even. Very good break even. See, that was quick. Trade. That was a break even trade. That was like perfect. That was really perfect. Recognizing that low probability signature, cutting the trade early, that's how you manage risk. You don't want to be risking as much on trades that have low probability signatures. Had we gotten above this high, we would have started looking for a pyramid. No bias switch. No, I'm not switching bias. If it wants to, it's not about really bias at this point. It's if price is gonna keep selling off, I'm not even interested. Not really interested. Someone said 9.9 out of 10 risk. Literally. No, you just don't take those type of trades. You should have waited for the 5-minute IFEG. Yeah, I don't really care what you have to say, brother. No offense. Your white charts kill your eyes. I'm sorry. Already caught a W. Don't need to rush along. Yeah, exactly. Definitely something you want to keep in mind, money management wise. Why did you have a bearish bias? I don't. I'm actually still bullish. No, the inversion wouldn't meet criteria. I'd actually have to see it come back all the way above here now. So I don't enter inversions for a reversal trade. If I'm expecting a full candle flip, I need to see a breaker or a change in the state of delivery. So this inversion, it's not good enough. It's got to close back above here. It's got to go like this. Then I can start looking. That risk is pretty high, but it's still 2R. So it would be good to enter now, Gatie, for you. Brother, how are you supposed to know when it's good for me to enter? You don't know that. I promise you, you don't know. Having bias got nothing to do with the trades you take. Direction can change anytime. Yeah, right. Bias doesn't mean that I can't take shorts. Bias is just, generally speaking, higher because I use your strategy. So you're going to tell me how to use my strategy. Because you studied my strategy. Therefore, you think you'll be able to. You got to keep studying because this is definitely not my model. Oh, unless you're talking about shorts. If you're talking about shorts, then yes, technically, this is my model short. But I would never take this because we're trading at the low. We're trading at low of day. Protraction model low is like protraction model on low of day is like the worst thing you can possibly take. Probably it's like the lowest quality. It is a protraction model, but it's like the lowest quality one. Anyways, let's lock in here because still potentially forming a setup. We're still inside that 4-hour. We're starting to respect the lower portion of it. We trade into the 4-hour order block right there. Did we just perfectly one-tick that? Because I'm going to be honest, that's kind of telling. It looks like we did. So we trade into a 4-hour OB. I want to see if that delivers higher. Because I really like that sensitivity. Doesn't look like it, though. I'm even going to mark it out. Let's call it midnight open. Taking 2 trades. 1 win, 1 break even. Still looking to trade. This is how I like to trade. I like to be nimble. I don't restrain myself to one trade. I don't restrain myself to any number. I give myself risk management parameters and I execute until I don't think it's worth it. I know, bro, you don't take trades like that, but today I don't know why you took. What? Like this short? This short's this is like an A plus classic model. You should look at. People are gonna tell me I don't take shorts like this. This is from my book 1 year ago. This is from my book 1 year ago. Okay? Let's compare the short that formed. Like, how are you gonna tell me this is a short I don't take? This is from my book 1 year ago. This is 9:30 open. This is exactly textbook. Accumulation, manipulate the purge, inversion fair value gap. This is a textbook A plus classic model short. I've had this model for forever. This is 100% in the realm of my executions. This is A plus. This is A plus short. I'll be honest. It's A plus. Above all open. This is an A plus short. Then why don't you take it? Took it on my live account. Post executions later. Could have held longer, but ES had an SMT there, so I closed at org 25. I executed on my Interactive Brokers live account. That was just 1%, so new. I risked 0.5% for 1%. Yeah, you gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust yourself. Remember, I'm genuinely just here live to document my journey. Fave and cheapest profit, Alpha Futures. I like that we're accumulating here. It's not bad. 10:30 is our next key time. We'll see if we get a 10:30 reversal. Was 10:11 a bad trade? No, it's a good trade. I took it. I took it at 10:09. You just have to manage risk. As soon as this inversion happens, that's like red flag. That's not what you should be seeing at that time. We closed below the body, and we got the inversion after taking the high. Like that's a red flag. That's how you know it's likely to make a lower low, right? You always have to assume if you're wrong, what would price do? If I'm wrong, we're gonna form a protraction model short. So at this point in time, this is literally my model short. If I was bearish, I could execute this. We trade up, take out a high, bearish fair value gap, inversion fair value gap plus order block right here. If you're bearish, this is my model short. I shouldn't be seeing my model short when I'm in a long, especially if it's right early on in the long, right? So luckily, I got a good enough entry here for that when this to happen, I got break even, right? So just about recognizing the loser as soon as possible. Technically, your CISD would be here, but like, whatever. I'm looking for another long potentially. I'm still bullish. We're in a nice discount midnight below 830, inside opening range gap, finding support at 50. We haven't gotten to 75, which is good. ES all the way down here, so we have the SMT. Where's London lows on ES? All the way down there on NCube. Even if we're not bullish, we may get a retracement at least. So we're safe to take a long, for example, from here. And if we take something off of these highs, then maybe we can get a free trade. So it's a really risk optimized setup, but it's not forming. So we'll see. Maybe a lunch. Could be a lunch thing. Could definitely be a lunch thing. We're making a lower low in there. Yeah. Any lower than this kind of kills the narrative, I'll be honest. At which point we'll have to wait for another narrative, which is like lunch retracement idea. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna go higher. which means we'll wait for 10:30. Of course, in hindsight, it's always simple. That's all you need for entry. Yeah, valid. That's what more do you need than that, right? You trade age as well on live stream? No, just morning session. Sometimes PM, but not as much. Probably gonna get NWOG fill. Yeah, looks like we're gonna go to NWOG, fill up all that NWOG and potentially org 1.0. Yeah, nothing bullish about it. I mean, I'm still bullish, but I don't think this is gonna go higher right now. Bias doesn't mean right now gonna go bullish. Bias means sit here and wait for me to show me that okay, now's the time that it's gonna go higher. I'm not saying lunch or PM, but you can't not be bullish on this daily chart. I mean, look at it. I mean, okay, you probably can't see anything on that chart, but we're in all-time high territory. The market's been bullish. We just cut rates. Everything's been pretty bullish. There's no reason to be bearish on the higher time frame. So me personally, I'm still bullish on the higher time frame. Doesn't mean go in every single day, take every CISD long after sell side. Well, kinda, but just doesn't mean it's gonna go up every day. That's what retail thinks. I mean, if that's what retail thinks, and retail has been right for a very, very long time and very profitable for a very long time. Because this shit has been printing all-time highs since like freaking June. So you don't want to be the guy who tries to pick the top. Feels like that's kind of a problem of mine having too many. I think it is too, Sony. But I think we've talked before. Got break even one tick and it dumped on my first fund and I'm already crashing out. See? What did we talk about? Literally the first thing I said on live stream. Everyone, you got to be bearish now. I think you guys confuse bias with what's happening right now. Bias doesn't mean I think this is going to go up right now. We're going all the way here. Also, even if it is, like, obviously this is bearish. I'm not shorting this personally. There's no high quality shorts anymore. In fact, I don't even think there was one today, besides the one I took up here and if you held. In here, there's not really much. Because you're not going to take shorts after we take out sell side with a London low SMT. That's a really red flag trade in my opinion. You're not going to take shorts when we're, I mean, here you could argue this setup is not bad. That's probably your second opportunity, like this inversion where I close break even. Give a specific time frame to look for bias. On the daily chart, I look at for a daily bias, I look at the daily chart. For expansion days, expect new phase of price delivery on daily chart. We are daily retracement. Yeah, possibly. I don't know what it looks like, but let me look at the daily chart. I wouldn't call that 4 expansion days though. I mean, the last 2 days were bearish. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say, brother? This video I'm definitely gonna rewatch. This a video I'm definitely gonna a lot of gems. Which one? This one? This live stream? There is a lot of gems in my live streams, wouldn't you say? I use the 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day. Sure. 0.75 org. We actually may be able to find a really nice protraction model short from here. That actually may be something I'm willing to explore. Because it's 10:30, and that's the only reason. You know there's going to be a new range. If we get something like this, I could target org fill for like 1R. We'll see. I might actually look to do something like that. Yeah, what was that button someone told me to click? 0. Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind taking a protraction model here, but thank you. Let me put this up here. If I do this, everyone's gonna think I lost. Let's say break even. Took a break even long here. Is your model book free? Yeah, everything's free. I don't really sell anything. We're trading into NWAG. Yeah, so it didn't really give us a protraction. If it did, we could have taken it, but it's just moving lower still. Where can I find it? Everything's in my free Discord. There's a section called ebooks. You can find all my ICT notes. Everything is there. Would have made 1,000 sucks. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, bro. It doesn't matter what would have happened today. What matters is how you trade tomorrow now, based on what's happened today. I taped read a win and then took 2 real losses. Again, the outcome of today does not mean anything for your journey. It means nothing. The only thing that matters after today is, are you going to let today's outcome affect tomorrow? If so, you're not going to be able to take a winning trade. You're going to be influenced. You're going to be influenced. You have to find a way that regardless of what happened today, tomorrow you can trade the same way you started today. Because everyone, when they started today, they were chilling. When you have a runner, do you put a break even or trail it? Depends. I mean, eventually you want to trail it. Eventually you want to trail it, but it depends on the scenario for the day. You want to what's it called? You want to obviously follow good money management, right? If you're up 2,000 and your take profit is 2,200 for your runner, and you're sitting at break even, okay, you should not be getting back. You know what I mean? Like eventually you got to lock that in. So eventually you're gonna trail. It's not gonna be a, you know. But you also don't want to trail too early. So you got to figure it out on a money management sense. Today's outcome should not affect tomorrow's decisions, and if so, identify this problem and solve it. Yeah, exactly. I had my runner to London and trailed in. I got worked out, but I guess it happens. Um, yeah, like here, that's fine. I mean, this could have reversed in my opinion. So valid, bro. Valid, valid. It's not bad. I think that's well done. Explain your trades. Which one? I took 2 trades today. I had one here. That was break even. Um, Something like that. Yep, took 1 short, 1 long. All accounts. Why'd you go break even? Because this is my model forming short. I closed manually. I didn't put the stop at break even. I closed manually as soon as I saw this. Why? 2 main reasons. One, this candle at 10:14, it formed this shit out of here. This candle at 10:14 formed my model short. We took out a short-term high. We got an inversion fair value gap plus an order block. It formed my short model. Okay, that's one red flag. If I'm in a long, I should not be seeing my model form short. That's a low probability signature. Why would I want to risk money on a trade? Like over here at this time, the trade looks good. And then we see this, trade does not look as good anymore. So if that's the case, why am I willing to risk money on the fact that this trade idea is good? It's no longer as probable as it was at 10:08. I got new information here. That's one. Two, this break even is really good in particular because there was a chance that the market did this, right? It could have traded down in here and then did this. Well, then I just re-enter the position. So basically it's a risk-free, like I don't miss the move because I'm just going to re-enter if this forms, right? If this forms, I'm just going to re-enter the trade. So then I don't miss anything. It never formed. So that way I managed to cut a trade early for free and not find out for a price. Would it make sense to flip bias and target and welcome seeing your model short? That's what I did. You could have flipped bias here, yeah. Very possible. I'll probably go back and study if I should have. I don't think so, but it's definitely something to consider. Right, it's 10:35. Last trade idea, 10:50 macro. And I personally want to target these equal highs, but maybe a little bit out of reach. How many cons do you always use? It's always a different number, brother. If you're like me, floating profit is always way more mentally taxing than losing a trade. So I always take on enough risk to take a partial early. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a way to know yourself. How are one on short? I don't understand your question, brother. But you longed ebb fire. I don't know what ebb fire is. Bro, I keep getting my daily bias wrong. Every time I think we should be bullish, this shit happens. Bro, I keep getting my okay. One, don't spam. You don't have to spam. Two, I can't speak on every day because I don't know what's been happening besides today. Um, but in my opinion, today it was a good thing to be bullish going into the day. It's just a day you have to flip, or no trade. It's fine. You know, I can't speak on the other days, but I'm gonna be bullish 10 out of 10 days. Put me in this scenario 1,000 times. I'm always gonna be bullish every single time. I always outline how if London manipulates below the opening price, which is right here, and then shifts higher, I'm personally almost always gonna be bullish going into New York. Okay, it didn't go bullish. Did I lose? No. Took a break even. I was wrong. We didn't have to pay the price. So again, I can't speak on every day for you, but in my personal opinion, if you went into the day being bullish, I think you were probably on side with probabilities. Not probably. In fact, I actually have the data to prove that there was more of a chance that we close higher above 1130 than close lower. So how about that? I missed the entire short move, couldn't get an entry and got upset, then took the same loss going long as you. Well, first of all, I didn't take a loss going long. It was break even. Two, if you identify that you're upset, the best thing you can do is just leave. Because if you lose the next trade, it's not about whether you can take a good trade or not. This could have been an A plus trade. A plus. Oh no, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty good trade. The setup here is really, really good. We've got a strong breaker, good inversion, good displacement, fair value gaps going into 10 a.m. hour. This was a really good trade. But if you're gonna lose a trade and you know you're gonna be upset, then you can't take the trade. You have to just leave the charts. You cannot trade if you know it's gonna be the outcome is gonna upset you. Can't do it. I was correct, but today was weird. Not weird, just didn't play out today. That's all. But in my opinion, not even in my opinion, according to my statistics, data, and experience, going into market open, being bullish was correct. Yes. Does that mean long here? No. Does that mean long here? No. Does that mean even long here? No. But the bias, what was more likely to happen, was a price run higher. It could still happen today. We don't know. This is why you study when you do your journal. Don't say, oh, bias wrong. No, you don't even know if it was wrong yet. You don't know how low it's going to go before it goes higher, right? So maybe it was wrong. Maybe we sell off the whole week. Okay. Then you were offside, that happens. But you have to wait. Wait until the end of the day. Then you open up the chart and say, okay, I thought this was going to happen. What ended up happening? That's how you improve. So all these annotations, I'm going to leave them right here. Right? I'm going to leave them right here. In fact, let me put this one back. Always leave your annotations so that when you come back at the end of the day, you can compare what you thought was going to happen versus what actually happened. And I don't really need to leave this annotation because, well, I have the execution. So, anyways, we're trading inside to that new week opening gap. I don't know if we take London lows. I don't think so. Okay. We took out London lows. ES traded very deep. So I'm trying to see here if we can get a potential reversal. Although we won't be able to take, we're gonna have to wait for something more protraction model because the CISD is here. It's not good enough. It's not a good enough trade. So we're gonna wait for a protraction model. We may wait till 1050 macro. 1050 macro might give us something. This could just be a fake move. Although it looked pretty strong, so we'll see. We'll see. Entered long as 0.42. What's 0.42? Right here. You gotta give me a time. Give me a time. Don't tell me what the price is, because give me the time. We're gonna wait till 10:50 macro, then we're gonna look for a high probability continuation long. If this reverses, if this reversal fails, then session's over for us. 9:37. Okay. You entered long at 9:37 inversion fair value gap. What? You mean the short? Me personally, I'm gonna wait for a protraction. I'm gonna have to wait for a second stage model. If this is your reversal, that's your low risk buy. I have to wait for the first stage reaccumulation. Right? That's what I have to wait for now. If you want to view it in that sense, this can only maybe go up to the equal highs. It may not take out the full highs. Like this would be my target personally. I always talk about this. This is what you do in a situation like this. What's the minimum you want to? Whoops. You take the entire range. That's 50% right there. I know this is hard to see. I'll make it like this. This is equilibrium. So right here, that's your first objective. If that gets taken, no more entries. Right? So that's equilibrium right there. And we gotta clean this up somehow. Let's remove this. We don't need that. 830 org. Yeah, that's good enough. Anyways, you guys get the idea. Okay, so we're retracing. We may get our protraction model in here. Now this also could be a delayed entry on the reversal, but I prefer the protraction. Hopefully this doesn't just rally higher now. I want to see it go lit. Otherwise, we're gonna have to put stops like here. Bad. Thinking something like that. Even if we got a fill there, it's not the worst. We'll see if we get the OB. You can be aggressive and put the stop right there, but I'm gonna give it another room to form another protraction. All right, we're gonna be patient on this candle and then see if we can see what this next candle does. All right, let's try it there. I'm gonna have a stop here. We're gonna throw this up and manage the trade. Right. So waited for a protraction model. I'm viewing this as a bullish order block. So entering off of that. And my stop is a little bit deep right now. Um, because I want to give it a chance to potentially trade back into here and form, another protraction model. So stop goes right there. We'll leave this up here for now. We don't know how high this can go. Maybe a first presentation, best case scenario. Stop here. We're approaching 1050 macro. Right, now we just watch this deliver. So like the reason I'm not putting my stop here is because we could very easily do something like this. You know, so I'm gonna give that a potential chance. Like give that scenario a chance. So obviously we could not get above this fair value gap right here. This will be. Okay, I want that OB there. So we could form another protraction here. I'm seeing this 4-minute bullish fair value gap. There might be a 5-minute then. Yeah, there's a 5-minute in there. My stop is pretty safe at the bottom of that. And that's what we're seeing. Like, can we form another protraction model? If so, say we break above this high, I'll add another contract and move my stop here, right? That's the idea. So if we can get an expansion leg higher like this, great. I'll move my stop to that low. I view that as an intermediate term low. If we break above, I could potentially add a contract or just reduce risk. Either or. Depends whether or not we move higher. Or something just like this. So basically buying inside the 5-minute bullish fair value gap, and we want to see a 5-minute order block. That's the narrative here. Approaching that 1050 macro, which is a key time to see a retracement. This is a suspension block. Mark this fair value gap. We're trading into the discount fair value gap. Now, normally you don't want to see this, but if you look at ES, ES is still up here. So hoping that this is just NASDAQ being a little bit more manipulative. Check the YM. YM is also moving higher, so seems like NQ is the only one really going lower right now. $10.50 macro hits. I like the trades I took today. Now we just wait. Nothing we can really do. If we close above the body here, I'll move my stop to this low. May or may not add a contract. We'll see, depending how it gets there. If it fails, well, then our stop gets hit. Call it a session. Pretty much one loss, one win. No complaints. Can't complain with that outcome. If you want to be aggressive, you can move the stop here now. It's not my style. Immediate rebalance in there. Suspension block is a candle with a volume imbalance, higher and lower. It's not my words, it's ICT's words. So if we can get the inversion here, and if this candle closes higher, we're moving the stop here. I don't think I'm going to add a contract because we might get an SMT. May have to look to add one later. As long as we add one somewhere in here before these highs, then we're good. All right, we're going to move the stop. Just risk management things. Stop at 5375. Cutting the risk pretty significantly there. Risking, actually, this is 5425. Yeah, 5375. We're going to go with 5375. So cutting the risk significantly there. That's always what you want to do. So not risking nearly as much on this trade anymore. And yeah, so that's always good. If price is bullish, we shouldn't get back below this low. We should see speed above these highs. If we make a lower low in here, it could reverse, but it's not something I'm willing to risk any more money on. So we will see. I have a video on all my chart colors on YouTube. See how much damage we can do. What I want to see is NASDAQ speed above these highs. Goes above the body. The equal highs sit at 156. So we barely get above the body there. Turning back into this range. There's an SMT here. So that's why I haven't added anything yet. If there was no SMT, I probably would have added. But I don't want to increase my risk. Don't want to increase my risk when there's like, red flags in the trade. So if we get, maybe an expansion higher above this high, we can add one. Move the stop a little bit higher to the body. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. So 5-minute looks pretty good if we can follow through. If we can't, well, no, we can't. But the idea is we're respecting that 10-minute bearish fair value gap. So far, haven't gotten above it. Could still definitely move higher. Nothing invalidated yet, but we'll see. We'll leave the markers like this. That's why I want to see speed here. Because you want to see it run on liquidity. You don't want to see it just, barely get there, show weakness. But we've already reduced the risk. So we did the hard part. Make sure the trade copier is working. Yes. All good. So kind of consolidating in here now. Still inside that macro. 1050. And I really just want to see a run here, to be honest. I don't think I'll aim for much more than that. Let's see if we can get some speed. If we get above this high, I move the stop to the body. Only saves us 4 points, but I mean, it adds up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Stop goes to 5625. Hey, you know what? It adds up in the long run. It adds up in the long run. So we're reducing the stop just a little bit more. Want to see an attempt to get above these highs. I like that we traded down here. I want to see it continue above. Not really getting that right now. ES is making higher highs. It's just Nasdaq's a little bit weaker than the other two right now. See, YM's making higher highs as well. Nasdaq a little bit weaker, but not invalidating the trades. Right, still making higher bodies. I'll show you what it looks like without the wicks. Still making higher bodies. That's what matters the most. Now, eventually we will move the stop here. Call it this 2-minute OB here. Actually, that's 6.2. Really? Yeah. Go ahead and move the stop to 6.2. That's 6.225. Nope, just that OB, that really clean OB on the 2-minute chart. Or sorry, 3-minute chart. So now we've done the hard part. I mean, we manage our risk really well. We've gotten above these highs. Now what we want to see is obviously this inversion fair value gap. What you want to see first, the first thing you want to see is price get into the 50% level of this bearish fair value gap. I call it an inversion, but it's not an inversion yet. So if we can get to 50%, that's a pretty bullish indication. You can go ahead and move the stop to 70. I'm not going to just yet. You also don't want to get SMT'd with ES, which might happen shortly. Which means we may have to make this a risk-free trade. We put in a bullish fair value gap in here. So see how we didn't get to 50%? Like red flag. Oops, that didn't mean to knock. Red flag. Not invalidated, but red flag. You want to see its first attempt to get to 50%, right? That shows strength. Risk is relatively low. That's what I'm liking right now about this trade. Really strong candle there. Completely invalidates the thing here, but we did form the breaker, so I'm gonna remove this box. But just know we're trading back into the breaker there, so we'll see. I mean, what did we trade into that's potentially giving us? And we just took the high, right? That's pretty much it. We just took the high, closed back below. I like my stop placement. That's the only reason I'm not closing this. Like, this is really good risk to reward to see if this plays out. You could terminate break even here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a chance. Also, the other two look still bullish. Well, not bullish, I would say, but still pretty strong. Looks like we may be getting out here. We'll see. Just waiting. There's not much to do. Again, you can close it, break. It's not really break even anymore, but pretty much just chopping up in here. It's 11 a.m., which is why I don't really mind that. ES looks way better, though. I'll be honest. ES looks way better. Which is the only like real red flag about this trade. I feel like this next candles might just come down here and get us, but we'll give it a chance. Yeah, I think this will deliver in lunch. ES looks a lot better. I do get out. We do get up there. Well, it was a good attempt. We managed risk pretty well in that trade. Um, we'll see what happens. There's going to be an SMT here. Uh, I still think ES will take out that high, but we'll see. Good idea. Good idea. Good executions. So I'll stay here for a bit, see what the next couple of minutes to do, so that we could just journal and make our life easier. So we weren't able to get above this high. Um, how would I want to journal this? And leave that there. This bullish fair value gap. Ooh, yeah, I think that's all the annotations I really need, to be honest. So we'll just watch this for a bit, see what happens. I think ES will still get above. I think Nasdaq just a little bit weaker than the other two right now. Not anticipating a full reversal, but I do think these highs are in play. 1050 macro idea. We'll see. I'm gonna wait a bit just so I can finish my journal now. But I'm really happy with my executions. Really good execution. Really good risk management as well. So we put in equal lows here. Use past 5 and what? No. Makes the chart too messy. Too messy for me, brother. 30. Anyways, we'll see what this happens here. ES still looks bullish, which is why I feel like we may have just been stopped prematurely, but not much you can do. NQ is just consolidating. The other two are going higher. So pretty slow. do want to see what happens, but I just mark NDOG or NWOG when I think it's relevant. Two W's in London gold. Nice, bro. It's a bad day? No, I don't think it was a bad day. Two losses, one break even. That's okay, bro. Got in at the top, got literally at the bottom today. Nice, bro. TF. Isn't TP too high? No, not for me. Long time because I took 3 W's in one day. Nice, bro. You got three? Oh, trading was good today. Got in at the top. Nice. Long time since I took 3 W's. Nice, bro. Down -500 on my first day trading my first funded account. Did you follow your rules? Did you manage your risk? What is micro? Micro is just a smaller portion to trade the mini. You think we're going to see a reversal after these? What do you mean reversal? Higher, you mean? I still think these highs are in play. Just we'll see when it gets. I mean, right now we're just consolidating. I think it's pretty 50-50 right now. Although it's only Nasdaq that's consolidating. The other two are moving higher. Powell's trying. No. You hold any stocks? Not currently, but usually I do swing trade stocks. The markets are decoupled. NQ is currently lagging behind the ES. The momentum has shifted, causing NQ and ES to catch up and resynchronize with YM. Sure, yeah, sounds like it. Oh, just BYD. Okay, this looks like it's going to be pretty choppy for a while, so we'll make this simple. We'll have to finish the journal later. Um, there's not much we can do here. So we'll leave this like that. Um, we'll see what happens here. Pretty range bound now. So good risk management on that. Yeah, again, there's no screenshot I can really take, so. We have to come back and lunch to see if we get the move. Um, but that's it for me today, guys. Appreciate you guys coming through. Pretty good day today. Can't complain. Um, I will see you. Keep doing. Appreciate you, bro. Yep, I'll be live every day. I'll see you guys live tomorrow, exact same time. I'll put my journal in the Discord once it's finished. Still gotta wait for this to do its thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. Looks like it's pretty dead now. Looks like the market's closing. Like these candles are really stopped. But I will see you guys live tomorrow, exact same time. I appreciate you guys coming through, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.